Hello beautiful people and welcome to a super important episode in which I would like to invite you to share with us in the comments your feedback or your experience so far with this mini Ultimate Dominator event, because I'm gonna take this video and I'm gonna send them to the developers and tell them to specifically focus on your comments. Therefore, your feedback, well structured in the comments, will definitely gonna play a role. And obviously in this episode I'm gonna give you my opinion on this so far. So obviously, first of all, the times in which this event takes place, or the battle itself, there's gonna be a lot of people which is gonna be affected by this, especially as these events happen during the week. Not necessarily a good thing. I'm not affected by this. And since this neutral city part of the mini Ultimate Dominator event has a PvE component, I think it would be a very wise idea to give players a couple of time windows from which they can select what would be their best time for them to actually play this. The second thing which I want to highlight in here, which is obviously a negative thing, is the never-ending story with River Game and basically all their products. The matchmaking. So you're gonna see soon enough on the screen the footages from me playing actually this event, but seeing just the ranking in here, it tells you basically exactly what happened in there. So if I were to say there is a positive thing about this event, it's because it's kind of new, looks a little bit like the Titan Canyon, kind of the map, and it's a mix between PvP and PvE, because basically you're jumping on a map, you're gonna have a set of buildings which we're gonna open up. After that, you get the Enigma hub contest, which is open up and you can take those buildings. And obviously, we're gonna have the middle boss opening 35 minutes into the event, and it's gonna be active for 5 minutes. Now, there you really have to pay attention because you have a maximum amount of hits, which are 10 of them. Meaning, in other words, please do not start to attack the middle boss with your tanks, with your navy, with your planes, because every single player out there definitely has a march which is his or her strongest march. So definitely take your time and hit them with the best march you got, because based on the amount of damage, that decides who won this neutral city. Now, there is another point I would like to address in this episode, and this is the fact that we are allowed to use our teleports, also our speed ups, and we have plenty of ways of obtaining this in the game. And first I thought that is a positive thing, but honestly, dear beautiful people, the longer I thought about this, the more I realized this is basically a negative thing, because especially if we have a matchmaking like this, it definitely will give a bigger advantage to the stronger group of players. And if we would have the same system like in Titan Canyon, in which you are indeed limited with your teleports, you are also limited with your speed ups, it definitely would take a certain advantage from the stronger players to steamroll the other players. As they are not able to teleport closer, they will not going to be able to spam attacks and just simply speed them to hit you close to instantly. And let's be honest, beautiful people, the way the Titan Canyon is designed, not allowing you to use the teleports, not allowing you to use the speed ups, which you normally get in game, it would not leave you with any options, because you must play a bit more tactical. Of course, you're gonna have the Stone Factory, which will allow you 3 teleports. Of course, you also have the Void Matrix. Pretty much everybody nowadays has or must have the Void Matrix, forcing you a little bit more to coordinate with your teleports, and definitely has an impact on how the battle itself between opponents at the end looks like. As for my perspective, sure, you can have a look again at our opponents if you have the time, but honestly speaking, the score which you see all the time on the screen tells absolutely everything. I only was able to attack somebody one time, got a couple of points, and then I got a couple of more points because some of the buildings on the map in which I was were attacked, and by the way, the map was red, and that was pretty much it. And exactly here, I would like to add another great idea. Hopefully you agree with me. Let me know in the comments. I would like to see that in this type of the events, that the amount of points you are getting for killing units in those buildings, let's say it should be double or triple the amount of points which you are getting when you are attacking a base. So why is this such a great idea from my perspective? Because this will force players to play exclusively in the buildings, meaning in other words, in a building normally maybe you have one march, and if you're losing that attack, you just lost the march and you are able to reinforce more, giving weaker players a better gaming experience than when a big guy teleports close to you and hits you and just with one hit is gonna take out all your units. And surely at this point you could go crazy, and if we would have had a very accurate combat power system, you could have added an extra buff on the weaker players depending obviously on the difference of the combat power exclusively when they are defending their base. Now don't get me wrong, these players will still have their normal weak stats when their marches are in the building, but if you are attacking their bases solo, they should definitely have an advantage, or in other words, I would like to see these events focusing more over the buildings, because that's why you put these buildings on the map. Because what I saw today and what I see in general in Top War, it's always the same strategy. Just jump around and start hitting bases. Sure, you're gonna take some buildings, but everybody focused mainly on zeroing other players, and you don't have to guess that many times which players will gonna get zero over and over and over again. So beautiful people, yeah, the idea itself is great. Obviously, I think you can agree with me that River Game definitely needs our feedback in order to polish these ideas, tune them a little bit down, to implement some more fun factor, and obviously the good old story of the matchmaking, which is the bread and butter of every single competitive game out there. Sadly, not for River Game. Maybe one day they will understand this, and maybe that day it's kind of pretty close. So beautiful people, yes, I'm not sure if I will be able to stream today, but you can expect for me to do a video on the new hero Vivian today, and I will gonna compare her with Storm Shadow and with Mr. Duke. That's pretty much kind of the most important comparison to see exactly where can we sort this hero. Obviously, you see I have started to upload again more videos. Hopefully these are good videos, helpful videos, meaning in other words, people, it's 100% free to support what supports you back, because you can do so by subscribing to this channel, sharing this channel with your friends, obviously watch my videos till the end, as that's the best way to appreciate my efforts, my work. Thank you very much for watching, and I will gonna catch you in the next one, and I'm super excited to see how is your experience so far in this mini Ultimate Dominator event. Thank you guys, ciao, ciao, ciao.